one of the first pastimes was that my wife and I had hitchhiked across the country from the East Coast because the devotees in Philadelphia were telling us about this great Rath Yatra festival in San Francisco, and that if we went, we could meet His Divine Grace. So we went to Berkeley, and at the time I was like a folk musician, wearing a fringed leather jacket and carrying a guitar, and I would write to Prabhupada regularly and send him letters about who I was. I even sent him letters with like the lyrics to the songs I was writing and everything. And occasionally in Berkeley, like once every few months, a letter would come with the letterhead, His Divine Grace, Sri Dandi Goswami A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. And so I remember one day Jayananda was temple president at the time, where a letter from Prabhupada came, and there was news that a letter from Prabhupada came. And so all the devotees gathered around, and Jayananda opened it up, and they were all saying, "Who's it for? Who's it for?" And Jayananda read it and said, "Oh no, it's for that guy Tom that lives up the block." So I learned from those experiences that His Divine Grace really did not discriminate. Whoever came to Him, He reciprocated with. Later on here in Los Angeles, when Srila Prabhupada was staying in his quarters, and at that time he was working very hard on his books, and every morning after Mangalarti, they would make announcements that, "Don't bother Srila Prabhupada, please. Everyone wants to talk to him, but he's very busy. Only GBCs and sannyasis should have darshan of Srila Prabhupada." So I didn't accept that philosophy. So I made an agreement with Rakshana Das, who was Prabhupada's personal bodyguard here. He used to stand at the bottom of the steps to let me upstairs one time. So one night at about 9:30, all of the big guns had come down the steps. They just had a big meeting with Prabhupada, and it was very late. And I was, very afraid, but I was a small temple president, and I had a $50 donation, big time, to go see Srila Prabhupada with. So Rakshana made sure that everybody was gone, and he talked to Shrudakirti, and Shrudakirti walked me upstairs, and we went in Prabhupada's room. And at the time, Prabhupada was standing looking out the window with his back to the door and chanting japa softly. So Shrudakirti said, "Oh, Prabhupada, your disciple from Phoenix, Arizona has come here to see you." And Srila Prabhupada turned around very slowly, and I was like shaking in my boots, because the atmosphere was like, why are you bothering, Prabhupada, and he's very busy, and you're a nobody in this society. And when Srila Prabhupada turned around very slowly, and I was shaking, but when he turned around and I could see him, he had a radiant smile on his face. And the emanation of love from his heart was such that he made me feel like I'm his long-lost son, and I've come back to see him. And it was a very personal, loving exchange, and it had nothing to do with the atmosphere of fear, or what have you done for me, or are you a big devotee, or are you a small devotee. It was the spiritual master showing his loving feeling for his disciple, and I really, of course, I'll never forget that. Je anilo premadana koruna prachu